Speaker, the last couple of weeks has been an amazingly positive couple of weeks for public education in the Monaro electorate. We've had sod turns on 3 schools, we've had the announcement of an entirely new school and a new public preschool. It's a great sign of the Minns Labor government delivering for public education in Monaro. I want to start with Googong. Googong is one of the fastest growing areas in regional New South Wales. It was a community which was approved for development when I was last a local member for up until 2011. So when I lost in 2011, there was literally nothing there. When I came back, it was one of the largest booths in the electorate, 8,500 people, growing to 12,000 people by 2027 and 18,000 people quite quickly thereafter. It has one public primary school, which was built by the previous government, but on a fairly limited site. So it has a need for more. The previous government, the previous Liberal National government, did not commit to a high school, despite the fact that the booming population clearly justifies it. I'm really pleased that at the last election I did commit to a high school, and we turned the sod on that 2 weeks ago, Googong's High School. On the same day, I was really thrilled to be able to announce that we would not go ahead with expanding the current public school, but instead build an entirely new public school, a second public school for Googong, which will cater for its future growth, and as part of that, the first public preschool. Very exciting day for Googong. I want to thank all the people who've been involved in lobbying for that, from the P&C at the current Googong Public School, and Candice Cox has been one of those. The principal at the school, Rebecca Lindsay, who's been working very hard as well in the Education Department, and particularly Prue-Carr, Education Minister, so Deputy Premier, and the Acting Education Minister, who has been working very hard behind the scenes to make that new public school happen. Bungendore has also had its sod turn on the long-awaited high school 2 weeks ago. That is something which the Bungendore community has had to wait way too long for. I've said to this House before that the previous government completely stuffed up the Bungendore school. The former Deputy Premier, John Barilaro, stood in Bungendore and said, "You're going to be surprised about this location," and yes, they were. It ended up in court for some years, and I see a member opposite smiling, that it ended up in court for some years, and had it not been for the intervention of Prue-Carr and the election of a Labor government, it probably still would be in court with no resolution on the site. Instead, we're on a fantastic new site in north of Bungendore, right in the middle of where the future development is going to happen in the town, and we've got construction now underway on a high school which is bigger than the original plan and will cater for the future growth of Bungendore, indeed cater for the existing demand that's there. I want to pay tribute to the principal of the temporary school, Melissa Giddens, and principal of the high school obviously, but currently on a temporary site. It's been hard work to make this happen, particularly at a time when this was really divisive in the community, and she and her staff have done a great job, as have the Parents and Citizens Association, who've worked very hard. I know it's been frustrating for them, but I do commend them on all their work for the area. Now, the other sod turn that we had recently was Jerrabomberra High School Stage 2. Principal Scott O'Hara and the P&C there again deserve great credit. They've worked hard to raise the fact that this high school was built too small in the first place, and to make sure that the second stage has happened, and I'm really pleased to see that up and running. The other school that I want to mention in my contribution tonight is Queanbeyan Public School. Unfortunately, over the weekend, Queanbeyan Public School had and this is obviously a much more negative story about education in the community, had a break-in, had a lot of equipment stolen, around 80 laptops and computers were stolen, and that is something which is really difficult for the school community, quite a lot of damage. The school had to be closed on Monday. It is now reopened. I want to say to the school community that everyone in the Queanbeyan community is disappointed that they've had to go through this, and I do commend them on their work to get the school back up and into a fit state so quickly, and I thank the Education Department for their work on that and making sure that that all has happened so effectively, so quickly, despite the fact that we saw that awful break-in and damage to the school. But overall, it's been a great couple of weeks for public education in our electorate, and I do commend all those who've been involved. And in my final 20 seconds, I want to wish the Canberra Raiders the best of luck for their game on Saturday night against the Sharks. We got robbed on Sunday night, but I'm confident that the team will come through and take it out on Saturday night and go forward to meet Melbourne the following week. Go the Raiders.